So what you're actually seeing here is the inside of the skull, the inside of the skull. Do you see that like tree branch like structure there? They're actually the channels of blood vessels, right? So you're actually seeing on the inside of the skull. Now, if you have a look at the top right-hand corner, you see a small little semicircle right on the top. And then on the inside, you see a much larger semicircle. So this, and in the middle, that's the bone. That's the cranial bone. Your cranial bone fragments, or your cranium, is made up of two plates, an outer plate and an inner plate, and you've got bone matter in between. So your cranium is actually quite thick, very dense. So what that shows is when the bullet strikes skull, it leaves a much smaller hole on the outside and a much larger hole or defect on the inside. So essentially you get a blasting out effect of bone fragments as the bullet enters into the skull. So that picture you're seeing, it's only a small fragment, but it shows a small hole on the outside of the skull table and a much bigger hole on the inside of the skull. But note, they don't have a complete hole. They've only got a partial hole, but clearly that fragment shows beveling. That's diagnostic of a bullet strike. The same cranial bone fragment, that's been shown from the inside of your skull. And those tiny little white dots, those little flecks, that's lead. So in other words, when a bullet transits the skull, it can actually leave part of its coat behind, embedded in the bone. And as you can see, you have the lead flakes in the same spot where you have the beveling. That's classic and diagnostic of a bullet strike.